Life is like a harsh exam paper that sometimes likes to test us at our most delicate point. This story is about a long, difficult, and instructive struggle between wealth and poverty, true love and filial duty, a struggle that began on the stone streets of a big city. The cold autumn rain of Almaty tapped rhythmically against the window. In an old two-room apartment with peeling plaster, located in one of the city's distant districts, Armin sat calculating his expenses by lamplight. He was 21 years old. While his peers spent time in expensive clubs and entertainment venues, Armin's life was measured by the minute. His daily schedule was strict. From 7 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon university classes. He studied on a state grant because he had no money to pay for tuition. From 2 in the afternoon until 7 in the evening extra work at construction sites or as a loader. And from 8 in the evening until 6 in the morning night watchman duty. Armin had lost his father early. Since then, the weight of the home and survival had fallen on his shoulders. At home, his only soul who always welcomed him with kind eyes was his mother, Aisha APA. She had worked as a schoolteacher all her life. Now her health was failing and she was retired. Deep inside, she was very sad that her son had matured too early and was forced into hard labor. "My dear, I feel like my anxiety is stealing your youth," his mother would often sigh. "I wish you could spend your time going out and dressing well like your peers." But Armin would take his mother's hand and always answer, "Mom, my greatest happiness is to have you sitting safely beside me. Wealth and career are dust on hands. I will achieve everything with my own work, just don't get sick." In this difficult life, Armin's only confidant, his childhood friend, was Duman. Duman came from a wealthy family. His father owned a construction company and several restaurants. However, Duman never acted arrogant. He valued Armin's pride above all else. Whenever he wanted to help Armin financially, he never gave it as a gift. Instead, he would say, "Friend, help me with this job, here's your payment," giving it as a reward for work. Duman said, "Armin, your brain is gold. We will start great things together. Just endure a little, my brother. These days will also pass." One winter day, as Armin was rushing through the university corridor carrying large blueprints, he accidentally collided with a girl coming around the corner. Her books and bags scattered on the floor. "I'm so sorry, I didn't see you, I was in a hurry," Armin said as he began picking up the books. At that moment, he lifted his head and looked at the girl's face, and fell silent as if he had bitten his tongue. The girl's large, clear eyes, her delicate smile, and the light radiating from her face captured Armin's heart instantly. Her name was Dana. Dana was the only daughter of Borzan, one of the city's most influential and wealthiest businessmen, head of a large holding company. But unlike other rich children, Dana was very simple, humble, and drawn to art. After this chance meeting, Armin and Dana began to meet often. Armin honestly told Dana that he could not take her to expensive restaurants. He took her to old parks, quiet places where they could see the city from above. They drank simple coffee and talked for hours about literature, life, and dreams. Dana noticed a quality in Armin that other young men did not have: the absence of pretense, willpower, and endless love for his mother. One evening, as the city lights sparkled, Dana put her head on Armin's shoulder and opened her heart. "Armin, when I am with you, I don't need any wealth or golden throne. I love the purity of your soul. With you I feel safest and happiest." Armin stroked her hair and silently swore, "I am ready to give my life for this girl." But he did not sense the fierce storm that lay behind this happiness. Rumors about Dana and Armin's relationship soon reached Dana's father, Mr. Borzan. He was a tough, calculating man who imagined his daughter's future only with young men from billionaire families. One evening, as Armin was leaving work, a black luxury car stopped in front of him. Two tall men got out and took Armin to the city's tallest restaurant. The restaurant was completely empty. At a table in the center sat Mr. Borzan alone, lighting a cigarette. Armin approached, greeted him, and sat down. Mr. Borzan looked at his old jacket and worn-out shoes with disgust. Mr. Borzan spoke coldly, arrogantly, and dismissively. "Young man, I appreciate your boldness. But one must not confuse boldness with stupidity. Do you know who my daughter is? She has been wrapped in silk since birth and raised on the finest things. And you? What can you offer her? This worn-out life of yours? Your old house? Love does not fill the stomach, young man. I do not want my daughter to live in poverty. This is my final warning. Stay away from Dana. Otherwise, there will be no place for you in this city. Armin, with dignity but calm, replied, Mr. Borzon, I may be poor now, but I have my hands in my mind. I will do everything to make Dana happy. Love cannot be measured by money. Armin left the restaurant with his head held high, but a great fire had started inside him. For the first time, he clearly felt how heavy a blow poverty could be. Misfortune never comes with a warning. 2 days after the difficult conversation with Dana's father, Armin was sitting on night watch. Suddenly his phone rang. On the screen appeared, Mom. When he answered, the panicked voice of a neighbor came from the other end. Armin, come to the hospital immediately. Your mother suddenly collapsed. They took her by ambulance. Armin felt as if thunder had struck him. He ran straight to the hospital. After hours of waiting, the head doctor came out of the intensive care unit. His face showed no sign of good news. The doctor said gravely and sadly, The situation is very serious. Your mother's old heart defect has worsened. Right now, she is breathing only with the help of machines. She needs urgent heart surgery. If we do not perform the surgery within this week, we will lose her. The total cost of the surgery, medication and rehabilitation is 15 million tenge. 15 million tenge. At that moment, that sum seemed like an unattainable dream to Armin. He had only 20,000 tenge in his pocket. Armin sat down on the hospital corridor floor, clutching his head, and cried. For the first time in his life, he felt defenseless. At that very moment, his friend Duman came running to him. He had come as soon as he heard the news. The next day, Duman quickly sold his only pride, a brand new car his father had given him at a much cheaper price on the market. He added all his savings and brought Armin 5 million tenge. Duman, with tears in his eyes and a helpless voice, said, Armin, here is 5 million tenge. That is all I could do. I asked my father, but he refused. Forgive me, my brother. Where will we find the remaining 10 million? Time flew by. His mother's condition worsened hour by hour.